Okay, so you turn on your burner, and instead of staying low or where you set it, it just goes all the way to high. And we're having that with this burner in particular. This is the kind of small, medium, large, and it just goes all the way to large, and it goes all the way to hot no matter what. So we're going to show you how to fix this. It's actually a really easy fix. The part costs a little bit of money, but that's okay. This is something you definitely can do at home. So follow along and let's jump in. All right, so the issue we're having is the big one right here. It's kind of the small, medium, large. I don't want to touch it. It's a little hot. But what I'll do is we'll turn this on, and it'll work fine. It'll cycle on and off like it should. It'll come on, come off. Let's put this on. There you go. So I'll put that on low, right? It'll go on and off, on and off. That's what it should do. It should kind of cycle on, get up to a certain temperature, turn off, turn on, turn off. But what it's doing is if I have this up here, let's say I put this up to high, it'll get hot, right? It'll stay there, and we'll let that go for like a minute or so. But what happens is if we go ahead and turn that down to low, now it did do it now, but it just stays on. It's crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that with this switch right here. This is called an infinite switch. This one just says switch infinite control. I'll get you the part number in the video description below and a link to Amazon. So if you buy it, I get a little bit of money for that purchase. But we're going to go ahead and replace this. What we need to do is we're going to go ahead and turn off the power to this. And there's two ways to do it. So we're going to show you both. Probably the easiest way to do this is to go to your panel and find where your kitchen range is. And that's going to be right here. This is the third one from the top. So 1, 2, 3. It's going to be this 40 amp breaker right there, so we're just going to go ahead and shut that. Another way you can disconnect power is take out this drawer right here, and then there's going to be a plug in the back that the whole thing, this whole range plugs into. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to take the drawer out and then how to unplug it. Okay, so this is pretty easy to do. We're just going to go ahead and lift this up. So just if you've got items in here, make sure they're not going to hit the bottom of this, but we're just going to lift up. Kind of get it off the slides, and then we can just slide out of the way. We can get underneath and unplug this. So underneath I have the plug here. It's kind of hard to see. There it is right there. It's plugged into a receptacle right here. So you just want to grab it from the top. This one's kind of pinched here, but you want to make sure you grab this from the top, and you're not touching those prongs. It's going to work that up, and there we go. We're unplugged. So before we start, we're going to show you where you're going to order your parts. You're going to go ahead and open the door and find your part number there, and then we're just going to go to the internet webs, type in that part number, and you're going to get a few sites to pop up. I'm just going to go with this one right now and find that part number because sometimes it's going to be kind of hard to find the actual part for the stove itself. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to go ahead and click on the diagram that corresponds with what we're looking for that switch. So that's going to be in here, and I believe it's going to be number 19. So let's zoom in here. There's number 19 for that part. It's all the way to the right there. So we're going to go ahead and zoom down, and we're going to find that switch, and there's our switch right there. Now it doesn't give us a part number there, but usually if we click on it, you'll find that you have a part number within the page there. Now I will order it off of this page if it's a good price. I'll also order it off Amazon as well, but you can notice you get some cross-reference numbers there, so pay attention to those. But we'll go ahead and look on Amazon too and see what that price looks like. They're pretty comparable as far as price, usually between a site like this and Amazon, because maybe they even are selling on Amazon. I don't know. But let's go ahead and take a look here on Amazon. Just going to type that in, and then we're going to type in that part number again and see what comes up. There we go. And so let's see what we got. And you can see it's pretty comparable. I mean, it's only like a couple bucks, really, the difference. I would always go with the manufacturer's switch, though. Don't pick something that says it's just comparable or something like that. It's not the best bet. Go with whatever the manufacturer specifies to replace. Okay, so the power's off. Obviously, there's no display here, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead and just remove this panel right here. It's really easy. I'm going to take all of these off, and it doesn't matter a whole lot. You can't really mix these up too bad. And then we're just going to go ahead and get a wrench and unscrew all these little plastic caps. They're not on here real tight. I'll just pull that off too. Sometimes they'll even be hand tight, and you can just do those by hand. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew those. And this whole panel should come off. But if you need like a little wrench or something just to get them going, little crescent wrench, or if you've got a socket big enough, that should be fine. But these aren't too bad. They might get, this one's a little sticky from, stuff getting in here, so you might run into that. And then this whole thing will come out. And obviously, right, you're going to have some gunk in there. Good time to clean all that out before you put it. And then this whole thing will come out. And obviously, right, you're going to have some gunk in there. Good time to clean all that out before you put it back. And then we're going to only have to undo, we got a couple bolts right here. We're going to unscrew and pull this off here, and then this whole thing should come out. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the switch from this panel right here. So if you have a screwdriver or a driver like that, just go ahead and undo that, and that will just pull out of the back. And then I'm going to take a few photos just to make sure I'm plugging all these wires exactly into where they need to go, because it is easy to plug them into the wrong spot if you're not paying attention. So they are a little bit hard to pull out, so you may need some pliers, and I'm going to show you how to use those in a minute, because you need to be careful with those as well. I'm going to go ahead and plug in those exactly where they go on the new switch. I'm going to just do a few at a time, and you'll see in a little bit I actually screw a few of these up, so take your time. Now here, do not grab it by the actual wire itself. Get it down by the base so you're not going to damage any of that wire or the connector or insulation, and that's going to make it a little bit easier with some needle nose pliers. No, I pulled these 4 connectors off. This is probably the most complicated because I got to make sure they go all in the right spot. I made sure to push them in as far as they could go in as well, because on this side when I pulled them off, they were really hard to pull off. So I want to make sure they're seated all the way down and just double check to make sure I've got a really good connection here. After that, I grabbed my phone and just did a quick double check to make sure everything was where it needed to be, and found out that I actually flipped 2 wires around. So I had to pull those off and reinstall them back in the right spot, and now we're ready to go. So now that everything is put back together, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it's actually in the off position, because it wasn't. So a little click there, and then we're going to go ahead and put our screws back in, attach this back onto the front panel here, and that will button that up, and then go ahead and just place it back in here. Make sure you're not pinching any wires or pushing anything. You do have to push it down a little bit, that's fine, and then we'll just go ahead and reinstall those 4 bolts. Now, since I'm here and I got all that gunk on there, I'm just going to clean that off real quick, make sure it looks nice and neat when I put it all back together. And then we're going to go ahead and put the plastic nuts back on, and I'm just going to put these on hand tight. They don't need to be turned down with a wrench, but they do kind of snap into place. So you can see there on the left, it's not quite lining up right. Adjust it so they kind of snap down. You'll feel them go down into the right position. But I get them all threaded on kind of loose first just to make sure it fits, and then kind of crank them down just by hand That should be fine for all of those. Now this does have a little plastic piece that goes under that specific knob, but then we're just going to go ahead and plug these other knobs in, and we're ready to go. Okay, so if everything is working, all we got to do is turn that on. It feels a little bit better, to be honest. There we go. Just going to turn that to low. Let's see how long that takes. There we go. That's what it should do. It should actually cycle on off. So we're good. We just want to double check our work, make sure everything is working properly, and we'll go ahead and put our drawer back in. So you just want to make sure we pick up the bottom, get it on the guides here. Lift it up a little bit. And there we go. All right, so I hope this helps. This was a really easy fix. It just takes a little time and takes some care when removing those wires and making sure you plug them in the back spot. So make sure you take a photo. I have the part number for this particular switch for this particular model. I'll list that below if you have the same range that I do. But again, you can go back in the video and kind of look up your part number and then order that off of Amazon. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video.